Hey, good morning, and how are you guys doing today? I'm sorry about that. The settings were all messed up today, and so it wasn't going live like normal. Let me make sure that we're actually good and going. Um, Absolutely sorry about that taking so long to get our stream up today. I don't know why. Like, I literally got on to set up the stream like normal, and all of a sudden it just kept on telling me I was having stream errors and all kinds of other stuff. And so we're a little late starting today. Let me get chat up real quick. Sorry about being late. That was kind of awkward. Bilya. Boom. A little bit frustrating there. I'm not used to it doing weird stuff on me in the morning. And so I don't know why it was having issues with everything and not want to stream this morning. We do have it up now, though. So let's get right into this. I do also hope you guys are having a good morning. I'm going to need some coffee. I did not expect technical difficulties first thing in the morning. I don't even have a clue what happened. Okay, as we arrived at the medical bay, Kiara and Rory had already gotten Mia into a regeneration. Ooh, you know what? Brian and Mia. Dun, dun, dun. Into a regeneration chamber. I could feel myself losing my ability to stay focused and knew I had lost a lot of blood and possibly was going into shock. I could feel myself losing. Okay, I could feel my mind getting fuzzy and knew Okay. As we arrived at the medical bay, Kiara and Rory had already gotten Brandon and me into regeneration chambers. Let's throw that in there. I could feel my mind getting fuzzy, and I knew. Wait. And knew I was possible. Whoa. I knew I was. I could feel my mind getting fuzzy and knew. I knew I was likely in shock with the amount of blood. No. Okay, I could feel my mind getting fuzzy and knew with the amount of blood I lost, I was likely in shock. That's when Amelia told Kiara and Rory to go back to the other ship and check on the others. Then, as soon as they left, she laid me on the medical table, on one of the medical tables. Then she went to work at one of the stations. Okay, we've got two thens in there, and I don't like having that. So let me figure out how to fix this. I do hope you guys are rocking this morning. Then she went to work at one of the stations. She had drawn a large amount of blood from herself, which was teeming with nanites. Let me fix this then thing back here. Okay, boom. Okay, I think I have it fixed. That's when Amelia told Kiara and Rory to go back to the other ship and check. To Amelia told to go back to our ship and check on the others. As soon as they left, she laid me on one of the medical tables. Then she went to work at one of the stations. She had drawn a large amount of blood from herself, which I could feel was teeming with her nanites. With nanites. Oh. After a brief examination, she walked. Oh. Hold on. She walked over and okay, she walked over and after a brief examination. Okay. Then she went to work at one of the stations. She had drawn a large amount of blood from herself, which I could feel was teeming with nanites. She walked over, and after a brief examination, she began to strap me down on the table. I tried to fight back, but she simply held me down like a child, as I felt panic initiated from something deep within the AI. I found myself gasping for air, and my heart pounding. Something was wrong. Oh, we didn't actually write the part. Okay, is the blood from the injector flowed into the body, into my body. Okay. As the blood from the injector flowed into my body, I could feel it burning deep within my veins. I found myself gasping for air and my heart pounding. Something was wrong. I knew poison was flowing through my body, but what poison? I felt my heart slow and lost consciousness. I laid there, strangely aware of my dreams, and could feel the spread of the nanites through my body. My dreams were vivid and dark. I watched myself rot away and reform again and again. I was dying over and over, each time in detail beyond my understanding. I felt the connection to the system as I was placed in the regeneration chamber. I knew my body was in agony, and it felt like fire flowing through my blood. Something deep within the AI was now faintly speaking to me. It was not a memory from Eric, but something else entirely. She infected us, it spoke through a flood of words and images, taking steps for preservation. I knew the nanites were flowing through my body, repairing the damage, along with the regeneration chamber, but still could feel myself dying. Why, though? What poison was flowing through me? As quickly as the thoughts came to my mind, the voice deep within the AI spoke. She's dangerous. She has infected you with her disease. We must take steps to preserve your body, taking protective measures as protocol. It spoke once again. As the nanites increased the connection to the I could feel myself slipping into it again and again, into it again and again. Now, as if it was a part of my own mind. Okay. Trying to think if I'm leaving the word it there or if we're going to try to find some better way. Chat just keeps on disappearing on me. Hey, good morning, Midnight Bacon. Okay, as the nanites increased the connection to the AI, I could feel myself slipping into it again and again. Okay. now as if it was a part of my own mind. I'm okay with that. That's actually pretty good. Eric was no longer present in the AI, but large amounts of data were still accessible from his memories. What had been speaking to me had not been a memory. I knew she had infected me with her blood, which had been teeming with her modified version of the Zarkran's virus. The version Amelia had created when she was working to weaponize the original strain. Let's separate these. Okay. I knew my fate. Infected, and even with everything Amelia had at her disposal, she was unable to stop the disease. I feared becoming a mindless zombie. You know what? Feared becoming a mindless ghoul or zombie. I knew that Eric had helped Amelia keep her mind intact and hoped I would be able to maintain my own mental faculties. The modifications Amelia had made to the disease allowed her to gain advantages from the disease while preventing her from becoming a rotting mindless corpse. I hoped it would be the same for myself. I could feel myself being brought outside of stasis. So much had happened while I was under. I had drifted far into the AI and was connected to many of the ship's systems, but only in a dreamlike state. I knew I had been transferred to a regeneration chamber back on board the ship with my friends. I had a faint memory of Kiara saying her goodbyes to me and knew Amelia had taken the other ship. I was coming to, though, and knew Blake, Brandon, Salvador, Rory, and Orion were there in the room with me. As my eyes opened, I began to focus and wait. As my eyes opened and began to focus, I glanced over, seeing my friends smiling as I awoke. I could tell they did not know what had happened to me and what I had become. Okay, so I'm not sure I want to leave that there. I'm not sure on that. Honestly, I'm not going to be shocked if the proofreaders tell me to change that somehow. Okay. Salvador said, Sam, great to have you back. Let's change that. Okay. Salvador said, as they realized I was coming to, Salvador said, Sam, really glad we did not lose you. We're in a lot of trouble. We started making our way to the outer fringe colonies, hoping the elves and corporations will have a harder time finding us. I was still at a loss of what to tell them, or if I should even tell them, so I simply nodded in approval. Brandon informed me that Amelia had left on the other ship with Kiara and Mia a couple of days ago, though I already knew. Um, let's change it like this. Verifying what I had known. We were all worried for you. It took a long time for you to regenerate, and the life sign indicator on your chambers were malfunctioning constantly. We thought you might die for a bit, Brandon said. Salvador oh wait, waited a moment before saying, "We found out more about Amelia after she left." Brandon looked into her. It seems she was some kind of scientist for the corporation, a war criminal. So people will be looking for us no matter where we go. Okay, so I say that we need to develop this chapter and to add a transition. That's probably freaking true. So let me look over where we. Oh, so I all of a sudden have me back in my room, killing time. So I don't know if I really do need to develop the chapter or not. It's not the strongest chapter, it's not the weakest chapter. The transition definitely has to be done. Let's get rid of this real quick. Let's put a transition. Let's actually figure out the transition, guys. I don't like some of the wording back here, too. Hold on. Let's fix more than just that. I could feel myself being brought out of stasis. So much had happened while I was under. I had drifted. I had drifted far into the AI and connected to many of the ship's systems, but only in a dreamlike state. I knew I had been transferred to the regeneration chamber back on board the ship with my remaining friends. I had faint memories of Kiera saying her goodbyes to me, and knew Amelia had taken the other ship. Okay. Okay, we're cool with that. I was coming to, though. I was coming to. I was coming to and knew Blake, Brandon, Salvador, Rory, and Oren were in the room with me. As my eyes opened and began to focus, I glanced over, seeing my friends smiling as I woke. Just smiling. I could tell they did not know what had happened to me. I could tell they did not know I was infected, or what had now become. Why had now become. Okay. As they realized I was coming to, Salvador said, "Sam, really glad we didn't lose you." Let's go, didn't. Right? Oh, what am I doing there? What the heck am I doing there? Is that it? Didn't? Why does that look so wrong? Didn't. Didn't. It looks horrible. I gotta make sure that's right. It just looks so weird to this morning. And it could be because we're at 5 a.m., guys. 5 a.m. is not really helpful for spelling. That didn't work. Oh no, we're good. Man, it looks weird as crap this morning. Okay, we're in a lot of trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. Okay, we're in a lot of trouble, so we started making our way to the outer fringe colonies. We're all hoping that elves and corporations Okay, we're all hoping the elves and those looking for us. Okay, we're all hoping the elves and the we're all hoping that the elves and the others that will come looking for us will have a harder time finding us. Okay, we're all hoping that the elves and the others that will come looking for us will have a harder time finding us. Okay, I was still at a loss of what to tell them, or if I should even tell them, so I simply nodded in approval. Brandon informed me that Amelia had left on the other ship with Kiara and Mia a couple of days ago, verifying what I had already knew. Known or knew? Known, yeah. We were all worried for you. It took a long time. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back here and we're gonna move it where it's even been more than a couple of days, because we're gonna advance the time more. Okay, as they realize that we're in a little trouble. I'm trying to find where I saw something wrong and I'm not seeing it now. And did I fix it and just not even realize we did it? I don't know. Sam, really glad we didn't lose you. We're in a lot of trouble. Okay. I was still at a loss of what to tell them, or if I even should tell them, so I simply nodded in approval. Brandon informed me that Amelia had left on the other ship with Kiara and Mia. Oh, this is it. Couple weeks ago, verifying what I had known. Had. Okay. We were all worried for you. Your regeneration. Okay, we were all worried for you. Your regeneration took longer than we had expected, and the life signal signs indicator on your chamber were malfunctioning constantly. We thought you might die for a bit, Brandon said. Salvador waited a moment before saying, "We found out more about Amelia after she left." Brandon looked into her. It seems she was some kind of scientist for the corporation and a war criminal. So people will be looking for us no matter what, no matter where we go. Okay, ready? Boom. Okay. I knew they were correct. Not only the elves would be coming, but the amount of credits soon to be on our heads was sure to bring. I'm trying to decide what to say here. Okay, I knew they were correct. Not only the elves were would be coming, but the amount of credits soon to be on our heads was sure to bring countless new threats. I wondered to myself, was I now a threat? Should I tell them? Why did the medical system miss the infection? I had answers to none of it. Yeah, the odds I'm going to spell unconscious correctly is horrible. Okay. I had answers to none of it, but wanted to clear my head. So, after a brief discussion of our fallen friends and what had transpired while I was unconscious, I I'm not sure if I like that or not, if I think it's good. I knew they were correct. Not only the elves would be coming, or two. Was I now a threat also? Was I now a threat too? Also. Should I tell them? Why did the medical system miss the I had answers to none of it, but wanted to clear my head, so after a brief discussion of our fallen friends and what had transpired while I was unconscious, I headed to my quarters. I do feel that that's a transition. We have him at his quarters right here. Okay. So tomorrow morning we're going to be back at chapter 22. I do feel we're doing pretty freaking good here. It's a little sloppy. I'm not really sure why my streaming software was being weird this morning, but let's hope that doesn't happen again. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace and very best wishes.